Why do intelligent people sometimes do incredibly stupid things? And I don't mean small mistakes. I mean decisions so bad that everyone else looks at them and thinks, there's no way someone that smart would do that. And yet, they do, over and over again.
What's your favorite pickup line?
What?
Take someone like Vitalikbuterin. At 19 years old, he helped create Ethereum, one of the most powerful decentralized technologies ever built. People online throw around insane IQ numbers about him. He's described as a visionary, a once-in-a-generation mind. And then you watch him interact in public and something feels off.
The question is, we can imagine a use of the technology that allows you to monetize personal...
The eye contact is strange. The social rhythm doesn't quite land. The room feels slightly out of sync. And Vitalik isn't an exception. He's a pattern. You've seen Elon Musk pause mid-conversation like he's running background updates. You've seen Mark Zuckerberg get called a robot so often that it became a meme. And if you're honest, you've probably noticed this closer to home too. In school, in college, at work. The people who are extremely intelligent often struggle with things that seem obvious to everyone else. This isn't coincidence. It's not bad luck. And it's definitely not because intelligence is fake. It's because intelligence comes with blind spots. And that's where this gets uncomfortable. We're taught to think of intelligence as a gift, something that lifts you up, something that protects you from bad decisions. But in reality, intelligence is a double-edged sword. It's not just a tool, it's a magnifier. And if you don't understand how it works, it can turn inward and cause serious damage. History is full of examples. Steve Jobs was a creative and technical genius. He reshaped multiple industries and put powerful computers in everyone's pocket. But when he was diagnosed with cancer, he ignored doctors and turned to alternative treatments. Not because he was ignorant, not because he lacked information, but because he trusted his intuition more than evidence. By the time he accepted conventional medical treatment, it was too late. A brilliant mind lost, not due to lack of intelligence, but because of a blind spot created by it. Now let's go further. In 1952, a laboratory in Pasadena exploded. Inside that wreckage was a man named Jack Parsons, one of the most important engineers behind early American rocketry. Without his work, the space program as we know it might not exist. He helped lay the foundation for the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. By day, he built engines to take humanity into space. By night, he conducted occult rituals, believing he could summon supernatural entities. That sentence should not make sense. How does someone capable of extreme scientific rigor believe in literal magic? How does a mind trained to think in equations and controlled experiments fall into superstition? The answer isn't that intelligence failed. The answer is that intelligence isn't one thing. Everything you think you know about intelligence is dangerously incomplete. Nature did not design the human brain to be balanced. It designed it to survive. And survival doesn't require well-rounded minds. It requires specialized ones. Every brain comes with a strength, and every strength comes with a cost. This is not philosophy. This is neurobiology. To understand why, we need to rewind way back. Not decades, not centuries, but millions of years. Picture early humans living in small tribes. Nights were long. Predators were everywhere. Food was uncertain. Death was common. Survival required constant vigilance. And under that pressure, nature installed one of the most powerful systems ever created into the human brain. Fear. Fear kept us alert. Fear kept us awake. Fear forced us to predict threats before they happened. And under that constant pressure, the human brain didn't evolve in one direction. It split. Some brains became obsessed with patterns, tracks in the dirt, shapes in the environment, cause and effect. These people learned to predict reality by understanding how things worked. Over time, this became the foundation of technical and analytical intelligence. Other brains evolved to read people, facial expressions, tone shifts, social hierarchies, alliances. These minds learned that survival depended on understanding intentions, not objects. This became social intelligence. Then there were explorers, brains wired to chase novelty, to move toward the unknown instead of away from it. These people took risks, got lost, and sometimes died. But when they succeeded, the entire tribe benefited. And finally, there were stabilizers, brains optimized for routine, discipline, and maintenance. They kept the fire burning, the tools sharp, and the group functioning day after day. Here's the critical detail. Nature did not give everyone all of these traits. They came as trade-offs. If a brain became highly optimized for one function, other functions were deprioritized. Neurons are expensive, and the brain uses around 20% of the body's energy while being only 2% of its mass. Evolution could not afford generalist superbrains. It favored specialization. This This principle is called a cognitive trade-off, and it explains almost everything. A brain optimized for deep technical reasoning often sacrifices social intuition. A brain optimized for social dominance may lack patience for abstract logic. A brain wired for exploration often struggles with routine and stability. A brain wired for stability often avoids risk and novelty. None of these are flaws. They are design choices. But here's where modern life breaks the system. We live in a world that rewards generalization. Schools expect everyone to sit still, memorize, socialize, calculate, perform, and adapt, all at the same time. Now, society labels deviation as dysfunction, and that's why highly specialized brains often look broken in the wrong environment. This is where neurodivergence enters the picture. Conditions like autism, ADHD, and dyslexia are often framed as deficits, but at their core, they are variations, extreme expressions of evolutionary traits that were once deeply adaptive. In the right environment, these minds excel. In the wrong one, they struggle. That's why so many highly intelligent people look weird, not because they're broken, but because their strengths come with costs that modern society doesn't accommodate well. And here's the paradox. Social intelligence is highly visible. Confidence, charisma, and fluency feel like intelligence to the human brain. That's why politicians can sound smart without saying anything meaningful. But our brains evolved to equate confidence with competence, because in tribal environments, confident leaders often meant survival. Technical intelligence, on the other hand, is quiet. It doesn't signal itself well. It often looks awkward, slow, or disconnected, even when it's doing something extraordinarily complex internally. This creates a reversal. Socially intelligent people can appear smarter than they are. Technically intelligent people can appear far less capable than they actually are. And this illusion fools almost everyone. So when highly intelligent people make bad decisions, the mistake isn't stupidity. It's misapplied strength. Intelligence amplifies behavior. It does not correct it. That's why intelligence alone does not guarantee success, happiness, or wisdom. In fact, without self-awareness, intelligence can accelerate failure. The real question isn't, how smart are you? The real question is, do you understand your own wiring? Because if you don't, you become the fish trying to climb a tree, convinced you're incompetent, when in reality, you're just playing the wrong game. Every brain is a weapon in the right environment and a liability in the wrong one. Intelligence without self-knowledge is dangerous. Intelligence with self-knowledge is powerful. And that's the part most people never learn, because schools don't teach it, IQ tests don't measure it, and society rarely rewards it. Subscribe for more.